What's going on, everybody? It's Still Alive, back with another one, man. And we're going to get into a little something different. Levi, it's kind of similar to what Levi fucking talks about, but this is the best of Andrew Wilson. I seen this pop up. It's a clip, it's a edit, and it's a bunch of Andrew Wilson moments, man. And we're going to get right off into this. Make sure y'all like, comment, subscribe. Let me know in the comments below what kind of stuff you guys would like me to react to.
You do OnlyFans as well. Do your parents know? Supportive, not supportive?
So my mom knows. I actually just told her about the OnlyFans. She's been known that I'm a dancer since I started. My stepdad knows I'm a dancer, but he doesn't really, he doesn't know about the OnlyFans just because he has a pretty antiquated view on, the internet's there forever and safety and stuff like that. So he doesn't really.
When you say antiquated view, what do you mean?
I think it's just a boomer / Gen X perspective that.
What perspective is that? What is the antiquated perspective?
Yeah, that you shouldn't post that stuff on the internet.
Just like
or
conservative?
I guess that would be conservative.
And is that antiquated or is that?
I mean, I would.
It's definitely more common amongst older populations.
Wait, so your parents, do they know that you're? They said they know that you dance,
Her mom does. Yeah, so they both know that I dance. My mom knows that I do OnlyFans. Okay. My biological dad does not know either. As far as I'm aware.
And is your mom? Is she supportive?
Yes, she's all about me getting my money.
She's all about you making your money. What about your dad?
Biological dad or stepdad?
Both.
Well, my stepdad also doesn't really care as long as I'm safe. That's like the main thing for him, and it's the same thing for my mom. But he's also wants me to be self-sufficient and stuff like that. So that's like really their main concern is my self-sufficiency.
Couldn't you be self-sufficient though without?
It's a lot more difficult. So I did as a young person, the only options that I have, for a job is entry-level stuff, and then also like fast food work and stuff like that. I could work my way, as a manager in a fast food restaurant, but that's really the highest up position that I could get.
And then Nala, I think you maybe talked a bit.
So my dad, my entire family knows. My mom and I don't speak anymore. She's very religious, conservative. We've never had a good relationship throughout my entire life. It didn't even matter when I was a pastor's kid.
Yeah.
My dad found out and everything, very just supportive of me. He is still a Christian. He loves me. Me and my dad have had a really good relationship throughout the years. I financially support my family because they're retired now and have like kids who have kids, and like my nieces and nephew need like things sometimes. So I love to give money to my family because I have it and they're still part of my family. Like I care about them. So even if I didn't speak to them, I wouldn't care. Like, I made the decisions I made, and I'm being very smart about it. And obviously, I know that OnlyFans is not the end result. I went to college to be a dental hygienist, and I worked in an orthopedic office scheduling surgeries and stuff. I had big girl jobs with big girl benefits that didn't pay the bills. So I'm like, listen, I have huge pursuits, like snowboarding. Snowboarding's expensive. I want to be tutored in Japanese. That's expensive. Like I wanted things that I couldn't achieve with a normal job and like something that men think that I should be doing, So me pursuing this OnlyFans career gave me so much freedom to expand as a human being. And I was like, wow, like this is what I want.
I don't knock the hustle. I think they just kind of have to be prepared with what comes with the way society looks at you and stuff, you know what I mean? Because like, same with me when I was getting my money a certain type of way, like I was prepared the way society looked at me, you know what I mean? Like when you were getting money, not the type of way that most people do, like you're gonna get looked at, and I definitely think it makes it harder for girls to get into relationships, like meaningful, real relationships and all that shit if they are doing this type of work.
And again, this won't last forever.
Just out of curiosity, you couldn't have gone snowboarding and learned Japanese without doing OnlyFans?
What I was telling you is that it costs money that I didn't have. Doing things like being a surgery scheduler, working like I said, I went to college. Like I got my little degree and everything, and that got me nowhere.
Especially with this economy right now.
It's so bad. I could not live in California doing what I did. Absolutely not. It's so bad. And
can't
then
even
I was
pick
like, I have to get a
groceries.
second job as a female who doesn't have a boyfriend to, I wasn't being supported by anyone. So I was like, okay, you know what? I think I'm really good at having a presence online. And I pursued so much. I don't just do OnlyFans. And OnlyFans is really my content for OnlyFans is slowed down so that I could pursue bigger things that led me down different financial routes. So again, this was a starter, not an ender.
Can I ask one question about to all the girls that do OnlyFans? Because Lord knows y'all make a lot of money, and I'm gonna be honest. Sometimes I make jokes at work, and I'm like, I work obscene amount of hours to not make anywhere near as much money. But there is a part of me that's also wondering, like you like you said, you can't do this forever.
No,
and when
not
you
at
go
all.
back into, let's say, civilian life, you're gonna look at everything and be like, I'm not gonna accept any of this because you're gonna make a eighth of what you made.
So it's not about
Before?
that. What I'm trying to do is set myself.
I almost want to answer on.
You're gonna make
Hold on.
money.
Like-
No. But
Because
the point of making
if you're smart,
the point of making that much
I was
money
about to
is
say, like-
I'm not going back to
buying
a normal
If
job.
you're smart.
No, but
If
that's
you're
the whole
smart.
point.
If you're
So
smart
you're
about it.
investing.
Not
you're
every
buying,
girl is.
You're
No,
investing.
they're
You're
not.
buying
I
real
see
estate.
No. Hold on.
Damn. Got his
I
ass
think,
worked up.
I mean, perhaps you don't have any history on Nala. Nala, let me ask you a question. If you wanted to retire today, could you?
1,000,000%. I could have retired a year ago.
So it's, I mean, you're not familiar with Nala, but I think asking her that specific. Granted, there are women who do OnlyFans who they will face that challenge, but I think Nala here is an exceptional
You're an
earner.
exception for it.
Well,
So-
it's just so much more about growing yourself as a person and not just growing and making content and taking pictures of yourself. That doesn't help you do anything bigger. And then when you're making this much money as such a young person, you're like, wow, this is the time to be an adult. You need to set up for your future self. Like you need to think of like the future Nala and be like, you know what? She'd want to be comfortable too. And
Yeah.
she would want to continue sending her parents money.
Yeah.
I know that for a fact because I don't feel like I'm changing anytime soon. So that was the biggest purpose of this. And I felt so steady in my decision making through this and financial, just like maneuvering. I'm so thankful that I did what I did.
I have a
sure.
quick
Yeah.
question. If you went to your parents and you asked them, you said, I have a choice. I can either quit doing all of this tomorrow, right, and go get a job for like a tenth of this, or I can continue to do this and send you money. Which one do you think they would ask?
My mom would say, absolutely quit. My dad, he'd be like, oh my God, no, why would you ever quit?
Your dad would say that?
My dad would say that I send money to my dad so that he can be comfortable with
And
like
he's
their
a
family.
pastor?
No, he's not a pastor anymore. They stopped being a pastor when I was like 18.
Okay, but he
So-
was, and he retained his faith, right?
He did. I'm his daughter, though. I'm not just some stranger. He's like, you know what? If I want her in
doesn't
my
that
life,
make it worse? Like, wouldn't that make it
absolutely
worse?
not. Don't you have to
Would you
accept your
leave her,
kids for
though?
who they
No.
are?
Yeah. What?
And
So
what?
you would,
No.
So
you
wait,
would
wait,
disown
wait,
your
wait.
daughter?
No,
Guys,
like-
one mic at a
Are
time.
you
One
just
mic at a
saying
time.
that, like,
I'll let
let's
you
just
come
say,
in. Go ahead.
I'll answer. I'll answer the
if you had a
question.
kid and they were doing OnlyFans, what, you just disown them because they made a bad decision?
Until they clean their life up, yeah.
You're a bad parent.
Wow, that's
Yeah, I don't necessarily think that I would disown my kid, but I would definitely try to talk them into doing other stuff. I would definitely be trying to persuade them to go in a different route.
My family
That's
would
bad
100%.
parenting?
My family would
Terrible
100%
parenting.
disown me.
Okay, well then,
100%.
well, what about
That's
you're a bad
terrible.
kid?
No,
Okay,
you couldn't
we're
think
allowed to
your
make
kid is
bad
bad.
Guys, please.
Yeah,
one at a
you
time.
can-
One person speaking at a time. Go
You
ahead.
can think your
then
kid
you guys
is
can talk.
bad.
Go ahead.
You can think your kid is bad and disagree with their life choices, sure. But as a parent, you're supposed to be like a guiding figure and a loving figure, and part of
they've
that is not
rejected-
abandoning them
Yeah.
in their time of need.
They've-
And
what
if
do
you
you
want,
mean?
if you
They're
want to
giving
talk
you the
about
middle finger.
Christianity, if you want to talk about Christianity, if you want to talk about like God and Jesus and the countless stories there are in the
Wait.
Bible of like still
I gotta
accepting.
respond to this. I
Okay,
gotta
okay,
respond to
okay.
this. Okay, listen. First of all, let's dive into this just a little bit. Okay, my daughter calls me up and she's like, "Hey, Dad, I'm still going to
I
be
don't agree
doing
with all
OnlyFans,
of
but I'm
it.
kind of thinking about not doing it." Right? I would say yes,
Exactly.
absolutely, don't do it. In her situation, she's like, "No, he would totally be cool with
You're
it."
saying you would
Because
disown
you're
your child.
Hang
You're
on.
saying you would say
what was
be
the
gone, child.
What was the context? The context is
doesn't
until what?
He
No,
supports
the context
Until
was
what?
decision.
we asked the question was straightforwardly asked. If you found out your daughter had OnlyFans, what would you do?
And I
you
said
were saying
until she cleaned up, I would not be participating with her or allow her in my
you
life.
said you would
It's probably easier for
disown
them.
her.
Why is that awful?
because you're not
See, they always want to go around the context of the question. Like, she didn't even understand the context of which that question was asked of why he would do it. She was just like, "You're a bad father."
Supporting your child anymore?
Yeah, I'm not supporting
You don't have
bad,
to support
horrible
what you're
decisions that they're
doing,
making.
but you shouldn't
I'm making
disown
them
them.
face
A
consequences.
decision doesn't make them as a whole, though.
Yeah, the thing
You all know better.
No.
You literally told me you know for sure what you're
didn't
doing
say
is bad, and you're just gonna do it anyway. And then you're like,
Who
"Dad,
said it's
support it.
bad,
It's
though?
crazy."
Who said it's bad though?
That's
Because
crazy to
Even
me.
Nala, even what Nala said, she said her dad doesn't support. She might not support what she
The
does.
older I get, the more I look at like all of it though, like in a whole, and think like, and then you see who owns all of the porn companies and stuff, what tiny little hat people own all of it, and it's really, it kind of seems like a demonic industry as a whole. I'm not saying the people that are involved in it are, they're just trying to make the best out of the shitty economy and the easy way to make money, but I think the industry as a whole and who it's ran by, I think is evil.
OnlyFans, whatever. But he's like, you know what? You're my daughter, and if that's what you want to do with your life, that doesn't
Yeah,
mean
but are you
I'm saying
used to
go
think
and do
Yeah,
that.
but are
Go
you
do
sure that this
OnlyFans,
isn't
but
just
I love
cope?
you, and I'm still
Older.
gonna be in your
Are
life.
you sure that's
I
not just
think
cope?
that
Because the
was-
same thing could happen to you.
Well, that's not true at all, though.
Yeah, isn't it though? Isn't it
Because-
really cope? You're just upset because your parents might actually do this to you. They might make you feel the consequences
Well,
of
then
this,
let
right?
them. And then what? You're just an
Exactly.
You don't
independent
care.
without parents
No,
that don't
I-
So
give
if
a
you
fuck?
don't care if they
I care.
disown you,
Of
why would you
course
say
I
they're a
care.
bad parent?
No,
No,
of
what-
course I care.
I'm
Fuck
calling you a bad
Wait,
parent.
One at a time. One at
Do
a
you
time.
think
one
your
at a time.
daughter?
Wait,
Do you
you
think
said
your
I
daughter
would-
would care if you abandoned her?
Yeah,
Very
it's
simple.
not abandoning. You're
You're
abandoning
saying
an
you
adult.
disown her.
An adult?
Yes, you can. There is no age that you cannot abandon your
Stuck
child.
with your kids when they're 60 and making bad choices
You
in
don't
your
have to
80s?
support them.
What?
You nobody
don't
said
make
you
bad
have to say.
decisions.
Okay,
No, no,
you
no.
don't have to
One
say.
at a time,
Oh,
one at a time.
okay. You don't have to say
Being
every
a
decision
little
they do
harsh,
is
like-
good. You don't have to support every decision they
Yeah.
do. But that is very distinct than disowning your own child. And
Do
I
you know-
hope we can all agree.
Do you know
with
what
that
a
here.
limit is? Do you know
Yeah,
what-
you're
do you know
allowed
what-
to
Can I say
have. Let's
something?
make a
Stop
scenario.
being so
Let her
emotional and be
talk.
logical
She's
for
been
5
talking.
I am
seconds.
being
Can I-
logical.
Here,
you
go
know?
ahead.
A 3-topping large
Yeah.
for just $10
I
at Pizza Hut.
think
That's a
disowning
big
your
deal.
daughter
Dine in, delivery, or carry out.
is a little harsh, but I definitely think I would be constantly trying to talk my daughter out of it and persuade her to do something else. If I had, I don't
Go ahead.
have kids, but if I did, you know what I mean? I think I would be like constantly trying to tell him to do something else, you know what I mean?
For me, so my mom, she's extremely Catholic. She grew up in the Philippines, like the only place where divorce is illegal. And her, when she first found out, obviously there was this.
I want to try to reel
I have a
other
big
people
question
into
though.
the
For me, it's
conversation.
like, what if you committed adultery against your wife, and then your kid found out about that and disowned you because
Well, should
you
my
did
wife
that?
abandon me? Should my wife abandon me when I commit adultery and do something she doesn't
I'm talking
like?
about the daughter.
No,
Is
answer
it
my
right for-
question. Hang on. This
But
is
you
a
didn't answer
perfect.
my
My
question.
wife. So
Is
my
it a question with a question now?
Yeah. I'll answer.
okay.
So I'll answer. Then you answer. So the answer is yes. I would. But
Sorry. I did say that she could go, so
Yeah.
I'm sorry, but
I'm sorry.
go ahead.
So I was saying is, I feel like, so me and my mom were distant, at a point when she found out. But then I feel like, as a mother, like she just understands. One, from her, for a Catholic perspective, it's not mine. It's that. Everyone has their own sins. She has no place to judge me because she has her own things. And then the other thing is, she noticed, like when we're talking about bad life choices and your kid coming back when their life's cleaned up, my mom realized I was always just on a better path when I had her love in my life. Like when I was distant from her, then I was going further into things that she didn't want to see me in, because just having your
same thing happens
No,
exactly
sin is
here.
not rejecting Christ.
Interlude on what she said. Why is it weird? Say what you want to say.
I just feel like it's none of your business, like anyone's business to like know what anyone's body count is, like, and quite
body
frankly, like I wouldn't even want to know from
Body
another guy,
count
because then like if it's a
Okay.
number I don't want to hear, like I'm not gonna like you
All
anymore.
right. Well, maybe we'll come back to that. We'll continue going around the table. I want to get everybody's answers. Go ahead.
No.
You don't object to? Okay.
I don't know
Yeah.
that. No, I think it's fair to, for that to put you off. But I would also say that maybe
Sweet Tooth, thank you for the gifted 20 memberships. Maybe.
I would say that maybe don't discount somebody because of that, because that's not necessarily. I mean, you could really miss out on somebody good who has a past that maybe doesn't align with your virtues, but also maybe they've grown from that. And
see, I'm not as strict
So, yeah.
as some guys.
I'd
I
probably
don't
still discount them, but
see. Some guys will be like, no more than 5. I don't necessarily think, but I'm also not trying to be with a girl that's been with hundreds of dudes.
I don't object.
Got me fucked up.
oh, okay. So just to bring it back, why is it weird?
It's invasive.
What's invasive?
The whole body count phenomena.
What do you mean?
To like want.
Here, let me paint this. Let me give you a scenario. Let's say the guy doesn't even ask. He just knows because you've been friends with, maybe he's been in your social circle and he's known you for 3 years and he's known you've gone out to parties and bars. He's heard it through the grapevine that you've slept with 20 men in the past 3 years. He doesn't ask you outright. Is it invasive then for the guy to not want to date you because you've slept with 20 men in the past 3 years?
No, but I do think it's heavily judgmental.
It's heavily judgmental. So you object to judging people. Didn't you say earlier that your allowance, well, not allowance, but you need a guy to spend $5,000 to $10,000 on you a month?
I said that's the average amount of probably what it would come to if you're putting like fun things, like the average relationship expenses into play, but definitely not an allowance.
Would you date a guy who works at McDonald's?
No.
So you're judging
What kind
him.
of judgment is that?
That's a judgment.
You could have been missing out on like the best burger flipper ever, and you just pass him by. How judgy.
I don't know. I think body counts between like 10 to 30 in today's society is like normal, honestly.
Let me ask a different question I'm just curious about. Assume right this second you enter into this dating market. I don't know much about the dating market. Okay, I've been off it for a long time, and thank God for that. But let's say you enter into it right now and you were a virgin. Would it be invasive if somebody asked your body count then?
Yes. I still wouldn't tell anybody because I feel like guys take advantage of women who have low sexual experience.
How do they take advantage? How do they take advantage?
Do you think then that most women's answers, when they answer that it's invasive or they don't like it or this type of things, because they have themselves a high body count?
Not necessarily. I don't even consider myself to be in that category. I just don't think it's a man's business. Like, why? Like, what benefit do you gain knowing who I've slept with in the past? Like,
so we can disqualify you from dating.
Yeah, but I agree with
no
what
one
she's
has asked me
saying
that.
too. Because sometimes ignorance is bliss. Like, let's say hypothetically you meet.
Give me the red pill.
That's the blue pill.
Okay, let's
Ignorance is
say
bliss.
I want to know so I can make a determination of, do I want to date this person, yes or no? I don't want, like, I would want that information. That way I can make a determination.
Yeah, but let's say in every single aspect of this one person, let's say you've been meeting people and it's never worked out with anyone, and you meet this one person, they're absolutely perfect in every single aspect, and then except this one thing.
But they have a body count of 100?
That you find out later. Okay, not 100, but you said what you consider high is 10. Let's say it's 20.
I'm using the extreme, I'm using the extreme on both sides. So the extreme is, this is the perfect woman.
Butler donated $200.
Thank you.
Since 1 in 3 women aged 16 to 30 has a STD now, and condoms don't protect from genital herpes, body count matters.
Yep.
Feminism turned your lady parts into a radioactive wasteland. I'm gonna go vomit.
Radioactive, by the way. Here, let me drop the nuke. Actually, Nick, could you click the nuke red?
That's terrifying.
Click nuke red.
That, man.
Yeah, radioactive wasteland. There it is, folks. Look at that. Holy, that's what it's looking like. All right, Nick, you can. Yeah. Okay. So to use an extreme on both ends, you're saying, well, the perfect woman, she's perfect in every way. She's a 10 out of 10. She's blah, whatever. But here's the extreme on the other end. She has slept with over 100 men.
Yeah.
That's a no.
But wouldn't you rather just not know? Like you want to keep her as this perfect
No, I
being
want the truth. Truth über alles.
Well, let's just.
I want the truth overall.
Let's just kind of grant it, though.
You know what?
And say
Yeah,
your preference
I'm good.
is that you didn't know, because for you, right, not knowing
I'm good.
is a thing that you would prefer.
Yeah.
Because I
Would you say there would
don't
be
really
any
care.
problem though?
Like, I honestly
Would
don't.
you say there'd be any problem though for a person who did want to know? They did want to know the truth. Maybe ignorance is bliss for you is true, but maybe for another person, ignorance is bliss. Not so true.
But like, why do they want to know so badly? And like, with the thing with STDs, you can
Why do
get
you
an
want to be so
STD
ignorant
test.
so badly?
Literally, like, I just don't really care. It's not that I want that so badly.
Yeah.
And if like my boyfriend comes to me and is going to tell me his body count, I'd like run away and close my ears.
Right, but your pushback is, but ignorance is bliss. It's like, okay, that's fair enough.
Men's
It's true.
body count,
Maybe if you're
female body
ignorant about
count's
something,
different, though. That's two completely different things. Honestly, it is.
And you didn't have any foreknowledge to it, you might go a certain way. Like, okay, maybe, but if another person had the preference to not be ignorant on the topic, what still would be the objection? Other than you just kind of think it's icky, right? That's really it. When you get down to the value judgment, in other words, aren't you guys really just saying, I think it's icky? I think it's yucky. There's not really anything else to that?
I mean, it's like someone's privacy, like their personal life. Like to me, this is something that's very intimate, and it's
Is
like,
it?
private.
And that's-
Oh, is
Well,
it intimate if you have a high body count?
Yeah, that.
But,
yeah,
no,
yeah.
but I think I think Izzy and I kind of see similar to this on this particular topic, because we're not using this as an excuse to be promiscuous, you know, and sleep with a bunch of guys. I'm just saying I think it's rude for a man to ask a lady, how many guys have you slept with?
It's not rude.
I recently actually spoke to a guy about this, and I think him and I like kind of agreed on the standpoint, like, we don't need to know each other's body counts, but if we both are in an area and you see somebody that you slept with, do me the favor and let me know. And we're in the same area, and I'll do the same.
That's
But, like,
asking you your body count, just in a different way.
it's just like,
If you slept with a dude, can you just point him out? That's not invasive. but the alternative of asking you how many you slept
no,
with
like
is too invasive. For real?
If we're like at a party or something.
That
just
sounds 10 times worse to me.
No, just so they don't make a fool out of themselves and the person is there, you know. But like to go out and ask for a number like that's just wild, and I'll never give it to you.
Just point out the person, right? It's like, what?
This is actually a great reason why men ought to date women with low body counts. So the likelihood of you being in a scenario where you're in the same room as another man who's fucked your woman.
Exactly.
You're just almost making our argument for us.
In fact, that's your demand. You're like, hey, I had a conversation with a guy, and he was like, look, if you've been in a room with other dudes that you've been, can you point them out? That's literally asking.
Exactly. That's a nightmare situation.
Your body count.
No, but stuff happens. Like sometimes you be like out at a party.
It just happens.
And, like,
Yeah, it happens.
Food just happens, and you're like, damn, like that's.
You know how it is. You're at a party sometimes, and you're just hanging out, and then walk in people you've slept with. That's how it works.
Sexual intercourse with at the party.
Okay. Wait, if you have a small circle, like it's sometimes you see people out. It's true.
How many people in the small circle have you had sexual intercourse with? God damn.
Imagine like a college
Enough to point 'em out.
For example, like a college campus, like people in college be doing craziness. Like you bound to see somebody there. Like you should, like, you know, like it's not like that.
Look, okay. I'm still not sure why it's weird. I have a question for the ladies, though.
All right, we're gonna go to the next clip.
Would you date a guy who had sex with
I
men?
gotta find it real quick.
Like they're bisexual.
Yeah, sure. He previously had sex with men. Would you date him?
I've never really thought about it.
You could make theirs like
Chipotle
Trying
honey
to find
chicken
the
is
next
back.
section.
Grilled chicken, chipotle peppers, and pure honey. It takes heat and
Fucking
sweet to a
goddamn
whole
ad.
new
My
level.
bad, y'all.
Where is my Old Spice?
I'm doing this shit with my left hand, and I'm not the most coordinated with my left hand.
DJ.
Broken arm.
your cognitive function isn't quite set in until you're about 25.
No, that's not even true for.
Is there a next section, or is it just this one?
Didn't he play
Could be a
Superman?
next
too?
Yeah,
section.
Superman.
Yeah.
So what was your question?
All
The
right, hold on,
40-year-old
y'all.
and the 25-year-old?
I
We're
was
gonna go
asking, do you
back.
think it's disadvantage?
Because I've seen some other good ones. Hold on.
First, we will go into that. How about we go around the table? So, who has it harder when it comes to dating, men or women? Go ahead.
I think it definitely does depend on the situation.
In general.
I think men.
Okay.
I think it depends on your standards. But
In general.
men. I think it's a lot of pressure.
I think men 100%.
That's so funny that everyone's saying this now because the girlies in the comment were calling me pick Misha, sprinkle, sprinkle.
The
and I'm like,
dating, specific dating.
Yeah, specific to dating, man.
I feel like a lot of
That's
things in
interesting.
life men have it harder.
Yeah.
No, not
Into the mic.
I think we both equally have it hard.
Men and women both. Well, I don't know if it's equally have it hard. I think women have certain difficulties that perhaps men don't have, but and men have difficulties that women don't have.
Yeah,
but
exactly.
I think generally speaking, men have a definitely a harder time with dating. What about you? What do you think?
Yeah, I would say that men have a pretty rough time. If it like you have these guys in your comments asking if they're being overlooked because they're blue collar, and now it becomes this issue where, and you talk about this, and actually you do too, Brian, but a very small pool of men are the ones that get all of the attention, even though there are lots of good, hardworking men who would love to find somebody good and have a relationship, but because women are the gatekeepers of sex, they have to compete, and it's difficult. And it can be really discouraging and extremely lonely.
And that's why, like, after it took me about a week to make a response video.
I've never
to all-
done bad with the females, but I've only been in one serious relationship. I've been with plenty of women and females in my life, you know what I mean? But like, I've never really been the relationship type. So like, I'm not really looking for one. I don't mind being single. So singles, I'm focused on other shit. I don't even be texting females like that anymore, except a few here and there. Like, you know, I got some that I talk to, but that's, I don't, yeah, nah. I'm not even looking for that right now.
The girlies in my comments being like, pick me. Because I had to sit down with a few of my girlfriends just to make sure that, like, maybe my
I'm still
comment was a little,
25.
maybe I should, like,
I'm not
do
even-
some
I'm
self-introspection,
trying to
which is
build
everything that I
something
preach.
still.
And then I came down to it as I do feel like in society, especially when it comes to dating, we hold the power. We hold the yes or the no's, right? They don't really have much say anymore, which, I mean, that's just the way the world works around it right now. But I don't feel like we give men enough compassion for the hardships that they face. Like, we love men conditionally. I mean, in my relationship now, it's the first relationship I've actually practiced loving somebody unconditionally. So, like, when it comes to, like, money and when it comes to, like, dick size, all this kind of shit that we're so, like, I don't
They
love
have
you
to
unless you
perform.
have this. Yeah. What about us? And I feel like a lot of women take this and they're like, okay, cool, you want this out of a man.
She's fucking. She's actually saying some real shit right there. Women don't love unconditionally.
Expedia is the place to bundle
They
and save
need
on
this,
flights,
this,
hotels, and
this,
cars.
this.
Expedia, the one place you go to go places.
But I do not feel that the question, what do you bring to the table, is a bad question to ask.
No.
Because if all you can bring me is that you have a fat ass and you have a pretty face and you can good, that's gonna get the man, but like, how are you gonna keep him?
Exactly.
That's the reason why I don't care about the, oh, she's just a porn star and OnlyFans girl. No, I'm smart as shit. And half of the men that have gotten to know me can all say the same thing, like, holy shit, you smart as hell. Like, why are you doing porn? And I'm like, well, because I'm capitalizing off the market, okay? I'm using my looks to capitalize. But I feel like a lot of women that I meet, which is the reason why 90% of my friends are guys, and I know this is like feeding into more of the pick me thing, but no, I feel like men hold me accountable. I don't feel like a lot of women hold themselves accountable, and especially so we're like always preaching these standards. And I'll say the same thing for men. I don't do leftist. I don't do right. I'm literally my is middle ground because I feel like women preach these crazy standards that they can't even upkeep themselves. Men preach these crazy standards, and like, you know, like the whole men want a traditional wife, but they're not traditional men. 100%. But I feel like women are taken, like, when a man says, oh, I don't want a girl with a high body count, we're like, that man's trash, he's shit. No, that's just his preference. But then I feel like when women say, like, oh, you know, I want a man to make this amount of money, it's not coming from a place of like, she knows who she is. She's coming from a place of like, what society is sort of what they should want in men, and men are just precious.
Hold on just a sec.
Hey, look, it's Pearl. I like Pearl. I just got here. Thanks for the awesome content one more time. It's a really nice vibe to enjoy a coffee to and fire up the business. Much love, Bree and panel.
Bree, huh?
I feel like something in that
Thank you,
same
Victor.
vein. In that same vein, it's like it's never our fault when things go wrong, and that's something that I see a lot when women talk about different aspects of life. It's never if you pick shitty guys, it's never your fault. If you go into too much student debt, it's never your fault, right? If you don't negotiate well when you're trying to get a job, it's never your fault, and that really hurts women because it doesn't actually empower us to take any sort of agency over our own lives and actually make decisions and be responsible for our own actions. But men have to do that because if they do not, they are not attractive partners. And that's really an unfair standard that our society has, particularly in the US. I think that that's a real problem.
Yeah, 100%. So, I mean, that's just my sentiment about it.
You know what I was thinking about, which is crazy? If you're a 1% guy, like top 1%, let's just say height, money, looks, whatever.
Sucks
You
for
can't
me. I
expect
got
a
the
virgin.
height, but I'm in a wheelchair. I'm 6'2",
Like,
but
Wait,
now
you
I'm
can't or
sitting
you
down.
can?
You can't.
If you're a top 1%
Yeah, like
guy?
they don't expect it. I'm not saying they don't want it, but they don't expect it.
Oh,
Like
a
if you-
top guy
yeah, and that's
doesn't expect a virgin.
Yeah, and
Okay.
that's just kind of speaks to the dating pool for like men today.
Mm.
You can get like to the top like 1% of men and you don't expect a virgin.
Elaborate on that.
I mean, like what do men look for typically, historically? Purity, youth, right? And attractiveness, obviously, pretty in shape. And so it's like you have a guy that can get to like the pinnacle of what women want, like you know, tall, muscles, money, whatever. And like those guys don't expect a virgin because like the quality of women has just gone down today. Like the average partner count is like what? I mean, they say like between 5 and 8. And
Yeah. I mean, that is kind of, I don't know. See, my body count's pretty fucking high, but I think it's different for men and women.
and like you know that after like 5 to 7 partners, your chance of a happy marriage drops to like 20% in 10 years, roughly.
Why though?
Yeah, if you're, I mean,
Why does body count matter so fucking much?
I mean,
It's like
I mean, you're gonna
slut
find
shaming,
different
all
studies
is
that you're.
I do
ridiculous.
think that part of the
That's
reason
the
that your
dude,
chances
right?
of a happy marriage
It's
go
gotta
down is
be.
because you have more
It's gotta
experience
be.
and you know what you
No
want.
way.
Right, and then if you
Right. No,
fuck
a lot of
your
people settle in
husband and he
marriages
ain't
and
no
relationships.
good, you know about it. Like, oh,
I mean,
this
I
is
just
what
want to ask, like, how is it working? Like, how is women having more partners working in society? Is it leading us to having more fulfilling, long, happy relationships or not? Because 100 years ago,
We're getting the
only-
relationships
only,
that we want.
we're talking about people. So 100,
I think men too,
100,
promiscuity.
100 years ago, only 15% of women admitted to premarital sex. 85% of women.
And you know why they
And
admit
then,
it?
Let's say they're Let's say they're big liars, and we double it. Okay, that's still 2 out of 3 that were virgins on their wedding night. And so, like, my question is, are relationships in a better place today than they were 100 years ago? Because say what you want about relationships 100 years ago, you cannot tell me that the way relationships are today are working. Like, half of our generation is afraid of getting married because of what we've seen in our parents.
Yeah,
like that is a
because
horrible
our
place
parents
to.
stayed together because they felt like they
No,
had
they
to, not
didn't.
because
Our
they
parents.
wanted
That's
to.
not true.
I
Our
mean,
parents are the most.
I can't speak for your parents or my
no,
parents.
No, I'm talking about
but
the
I'm talking about like
numbers.
generationally.
No,
for so long, women didn't have the autonomy to say no and to ask for what they want and demand what they want. And now women do. They can say no. I don't want that. I don't want you. You don't make me happy. I want what makes me happy.
Okay.
And that's why I think that
Is that what a relationship is about?
no, I think it goes both ways, 100%. I think the man gets to say, no, that doesn't make me happy. But the thing is it was only one-sided for so long.
I want to look at what outcomes have women had. So not like personally, anecdotally, this is just in society, what outcomes has this led to? 1 in 3 women have had an abortion. 1 in 3 women have an STD. 90% of women have been on contraceptives at one point in their life. Women are on antidepressants more than ever before. What has promiscuity led to
Why
for
are we
women?
magnifying on just women?
So, well, why
Does
can't
not
we?
go
Why
both
can't we have a conversation about women without saying but men? Like, we're just talking about the women now, so we can come back to the men later. I'm not saying men are perfect, but I'm saying, like, if we're so happy and promiscuity leads to great things, why is it when our body counts go up, we have more STDs, more abortions, we're on antidepressants more? Like, it's not good.
I don't think antidepressants has anything to do with body count.
Yeah.
Eric, go ahead. Go ahead.
I personally don't think that it's just like, oh yeah, you should just whoever, whenever, at any time you want, just legs wide open, anyone can get in. I don't think that that's necessarily healthy. But I do think that it is it's your life and your decision. If I want to have more than one sexual partner in my life, that's it. I have, and it hasn't. I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I don't necessarily think one, but I don't think it needs to be 100. Let's just say that. But man, let me know what y'all think on this topic. Maybe I'll do some more shit like this or some other stuff. I think I'm gonna go and watch some other different channels and stuff. I'm just trying to find. I just been watching a bunch of different stuff, trying to find different topics that work the best. Cause like I had several streams that have been over 1,000 now and up to like 1.9 and stuff. But it seems like a lot of people like the Levi streams the most. But I'm gonna get off here for now. I'll probably be back with another one sometime later. Man, peace out, y'all.